Hi everybody, I'm Kate Sweeney Postal. I'm your instructor for Composition 1, English 122. I wanted to stop by and welcome you to the class and introduce myself briefly. I'm coming to you from a very balmy South Florida. My husband and I moved here about 2 weeks ago from Chicago, and it's been quite an adjustment so far. We're living with family until we buy our first house, hopefully in the St. Petersburg area. So my life is a little crazy right now, as you can imagine. I know a lot of you who has stopped into the discussion board and introduced themselves already, have already expressed that they work, they have families. Everybody's really busy, especially in the summer. It's very tempting to kind of want to go out and enjoy the nice weather versus maybe sitting down to read for your English class. So something we'll be doing this term is working out a lot more face-to-face interaction. So in addition to video announcements like this one, I might be doing some video lectures, and I will definitely be having online office hours via Skype twice a week, which brings me to my first request from you. If you have some time this week, please send me some dates days of the week and times that you might be available for office hours if you want to take advantage of that. I'm assuming evenings are probably a top choice for many of you, but just if you can give me some rough time frames. I'd like to keep the office hours the same throughout the week once they're established. Unless that doesn't work, we're going to sort of see how it goes. So please send me an email and just let me know what times might work for you, and I hopefully by the end of the week will have those established, and I'll try to have some office hours this week at the end of the week as well, which might not be the same time as it's going to be for the rest of the term. I'm kind of new to Skype, which is what I'm going to be using, so bear with me if I'm a little if it takes a while for me to get used to that. But hopefully I'm really excited about the challenge and using some of this new technology this term to keep a more one-on-one relationship going and to learn a little bit more about you. Some other things just to think about. Early in the term, sometimes I get a lot of emails about trouble viewing my comments or trouble with Blackboard. Use Google Chrome. If you haven't already downloaded that, it's the most compatible browser with Blackboard, especially when it comes to viewing rubrics and my feedback. Explorer a lot of the times will jumble up some of my comments and make it hard to read. So that usually solves a lot of the technological problems for students. I want to just touch on a few things for your assignments this week. You're going to be doing your first module review, which is sort of like a quiz on the reading. You have multiple attempts on most of these. I believe your one this week you have multiple attempts. So if you aren't crazy about your score, review the course material and give it another go. And as for the journals, your first major writing assignment, in addition to the discussion board, which a lot of you have already chimed in, and if you haven't, please stop by, introduce yourself. I love to know where you're joining us from and what you'd like me to call you. Nobody calls me Kathleen unless I'm in trouble and getting yelled at by my grandmother. So you can call me Kate, that's fine. So if you don't go by the name that shows up on your Blackboard account, please let me know how you'd like me to refer to you. As for the other major writing assignment this week is your first journal assignment, and you'll have 3 of these assignments this term. I believe I attached the rubric for the journal in my week 1 announcement. If you can't open that, you will find all the rubrics for all the assignments in a folder at the end of each module folder. So it'll say something like assignment guidelines and rubrics. So I always tell students, before you're even brainstorming ideas, read the rubrics and the assignment guidelines really carefully. And I wanted to bring attention to the journal rubric because there's a little bit of a disconnect from what the assignment asks you to do versus some of the things that show up in the rubric, particularly that the rubric asks you to engage in a discussion in your journal response of the e-learning material for the week. So sometimes that's kind of overlooked. That's an easier thing to do for some of these journals more than others, but do your best. And I always make a comment in the first assignment that if you haven't tried to engage that Mind Edge reading or any of the other e-learning materials, to try to do that. The other thing to think about and remember, even though, sorry, my computer shut down for a second. Even though the journal is a little bit more of an informal writing versus something like the essays, the major essays you'll be doing for this class, they are still essays. So they should have a thesis. You should have multiple paragraphs, and you'll see in the rubric that it says 3 or more paragraphs to answer the prompt question qualifies as exemplary. So try to do that and have a thesis, have examples from your experience or the readings that work as support for your thesis. So just keep those things in mind. I wanted to make this short. If you have any questions, please use the Q&A section of the discussion board. It's the first one that comes up if you open up the discussion board links. I love that because a lot of times students have very similar questions or the same questions. Usually if you're wondering it, somebody else is probably wondering it too. So it sort of saves me a lot of time, and it might help somebody who's a little bit afraid or hesitant to ask a question. So use that if you'd like. Obviously, questions of a more personal nature or specific to your essays, you can go ahead and email me. So that's all for now. I might jump back in with another video or announcement later this week, and please send me an email with ideas about what times work for you for the office hours. So thanks a lot, and I'm really looking forward to this term. Enjoy your week.